Hi everyone, welcome back to my antivirus garden. First thing, Bluetooth headphones. That's a bit of a result. It means I'm no longer annoyingly tethered to my iPad. But here I am, I'm Kay, and I'm just messing about here trying to do some things to take our minds off everything and grow some plants, some veggies for picking sooner rather than later, all being well. So I wanted just to have a little chat about potatoes. I got this nice spud out of my veg drawer. It's what you call a baking potato, main crop potato, so it's quite a big boy. They have these little dents on them, which are called the eyes on the potato, and from those sprouts will appear. So you might have had a sprouty potato if you've left it under the sink in the warm, and when you've gone to use it, it's gone green. Not to be eaten because green potato is poisonous. But anyway, that would be a seed. So seeds don't just come in packets of little dry things, but this is your seed or tuber. We could grow that, but we're going to have to wait a long time before these are ready to eat. Now I'm looking to do something a bit sooner. I have received in the post some seed potatoes, and I ordered these online. So they've come in a bag and they just look a bit dusty, like ordinary potatoes really, and they're certified Scottish basic seed potatoes, come with a little plant passport which says that they're healthy. And that's the reason why normally you buy seed potatoes like this, because potatoes can harbour diseases which spread into the soil and it all goes pear-shaped. So normally if you want to, you buy some seed potatoes and grow those every year, fresh every year. And of course one potato will produce, all being well, lots of potatoes on it. So you know you're investing in those, and these are two early varieties, and they're actually a smaller sort of salad potato. So that's what I'm going to plant later. But of course I know not everyone's got those, and besides which we're trying to make do with what we've got in the house. So you might have some salad potatoes, like little Charlottes or something like that, in your drawer in the fridge, because that's where I keep mine, stop them going sprouty. But at the moment what we want them to do is get little sprouts on. So if I run my finger over there, I've had these on the windowsill and they're going a little bit darker, they're going a little bit purpley, and they'll go green, and then these little tiny little rough bits will sprout into leaves, and that's exactly what we want. We're doing what we call chitting. So that's getting the potatoes to sprout little leaves to get them off to a good start. If we just took them out the fridge and put them in the ground, they'd probably rot. You know, they need to be at room temperature at least, and they need to have their little sprouts growing. And I think we can risk it growing from a potato from the supermarket, because we're not going to put these in the ground. What we're going to do is grow them in a growing bag. Now there's all sorts of things we can do, and you know that my inspiration for what I'm doing is the book The £2 Garden, The £2 Garden by Jeff Hamilton's late lamented Jeff Hamilton, who used to present Gardener's World back in the 80s when I was first setting out to do gardening at home. He was very inventive, and he set out to do things for a couple of quid a week. And so I've been looking around to see what we might grow our potatoes in. Now my friend gave me this. You can buy these online. Of course we do get various things online at the moment. It's our main source of getting supplies. This is actually a potato growing bag. As you can see, it's not rocket science really. It's a bag made of one of those woven fabrics. It's got a few drainage holes around the bottom, and I'll keep reminding you that you must check that your things have got drainage holes, because we don't want soggy bottoms in the garden any more than in our pastry. So this is a little bag which comes with a little sort of flap on it, which in theory I think you could rummage about and pull out some potatoes, but there we are. You're probably not going to have one of those. So what else could you use? You could use a bag for life. That's quite good. It's fairly deep. We're only growing a salad type potato, so it's not going to be a huge crop. It's just more of a treat than anything else. So you could put your potato plants in there. Or even more basic, you can use a compost bag or a bin bag. A rubble bag is really the best sort because they're stronger. If you wanted to use an ordinary black bin liner, you could do, but you wouldn't be able to lift it. It would probably just tear and you'd end up with soil and potatoes all over your patio, so that's not what we want. But now we're buying, maybe we're going to have to buy a little bit of compost from somewhere. I mean, maybe someone who's getting shopping for you could pick up a bag of compost from somewhere. I mean, sometimes they have it in places that are still open, you know, some of the bigger supermarkets and that. Some garden centres, we've got a garden centre not far from me, it's a bit of a drive, but they're delivering because obviously they can't sell direct. But you want to save your compost for your precious things which are more sensitive, like growing seeds, and if you can, use other things for planting your more robust things like your potatoes. The other thing I've noticed, I just mentioned about drainage, and in actual fact when I came to look at it, this compost bag, which I always carefully open them now, I don't just rip them apart because I want the bag for various other uses. But I noticed then that the compost bag has little holes perforated in it, only at the bottom. If I'd known that before, I perhaps would have turned the bag upside down before I opened it. So in future I'll do that, and then I've got something that's already perforated. But what you can do is you roll the bag down when your potatoes are chitted, and that's what we call this process of getting the little sprouts on. It's chitting, not chipping, not chip potatoes. And so you put a bit of soil or whatever you can get hold of compost wise in the bottom, about 4 inches. Pop in 1 or 2 of your little potatoes and put some more soil on, and then as it starts to grow you'll add more soil. So I'll be showing you what to do, but you'll add more soil, topping it up and unrolling the bag as the time goes on and it grows. So you keep sort of burying the leaves and the potatoes will form at the bottom of the bag. So that is my quick intro to growing potatoes, which will be nice, and we'll have a nice little meal of those in the due course. But what you need to do now is go and find a potato or 2 that you don't mind sparing to try this and have a bit of fun with it. Put them on the windowsill, in the house, in the warm, and wait for those little sprouts to grow. And then we'll have another look in a while and see how we go about with the planting of them. It's a good thing to do with the kids because they're not so fiddly as seeds. So, you know, you can have the little ones helping put them in the bag and that sort of thing. So I think that's a good thing to try. So that's that on my seed potatoes, but I've got quite an exciting idea for making a big compost bin, a hot composting bin. So tune in again soon and see what I've got to show you next. But until next time, I hope to see you soon and keep safe. Bye bye.